Welcome to Augmented Teachings, a space where we talk about the things that inspire us to think better, feel better, and in turn be better. I'm Todd Michael Jackson, and I'm a co-host, Brandi Pagano. How you doing, Brandi?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Very good. So this show is a little different. We're not going to be talking about the things we know. We're going to be talking about the things that we can offer others to help them in their journeys. Mm-hmm. So I've been a near-death experience researcher for the last 12 years, and I'm able to help people in certain areas. You have been a practitioner of the 5-step and 7-step process. Mm-hmm. And I want to know about that because as I go down my road, my road of enlightenment and my journey of wisdom, I want to know what your journey has been and how it can help others. So please explain to me what the 5-step process is and the 7-step process.
Well, thank you so much for asking me. It's actually something that's pretty important to me and it's pretty powerful because it's something that has shifted my life in ways that I could have never expected. So my journey started back in 2015. Mm-hmm. And I call that like the beginning of my spiritual awakening, so to speak, because I started to shift my consciousness, shift my life by the things that I was doing, but I knew that there was more. And I kept living in these patterns and I couldn't figure it out. And life always gives us what we need. So throughout my journey, I had been traveling to different like metaphysical fairs and meeting different people. And along the journey, I met some friends and they introduced me to this guy named Arno Garan. Mm-hmm. And he developed the 7 steps to reprogramming your subconscious mind because as we know, our thoughts create our energy creates our emotion creates our habits, mm-hmm. and our habits create our actions, or our actions create our habits, I should say. So how do we get out of that cycle? We first have to change the thoughts. What's behind the thought? There's actually an energy behind the thought. But wait, I just said that the thought comes before the energy. Mm-hmm. How does that work? Because there's an energetic blueprint that our soul has. Mm-hmm. And that comes from the Akashic record, from our past incarnations, our past soul experiences. Mm-hmm. And everything that is recorded from the start of our soul, whatever that would be, till the end, whatever that would be, if there is a beginning or an end to the soul, it's recorded in something called your Akashic field or your Akashic record. Mm-hmm. So the 7 steps to reprogramming your subconscious mind actually dips into the Akashic field because that is part of your subconscious mind. So we have our mind and we have our soul. Those are 2 different things.
Yes.
And so in order to live a certain life here as Brandi, I had to find a way to go back to the blueprint and rewrite or rewire, restructure my original blueprint, mm-hmm. or at least the blueprint that has been manipulated since the start of my soul. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So there's a whole process, and again, it's 7 steps. Then there is the 5-step process, and that works in also the subconscious mind and the Akashic field, but it's a different type of step. So one works with your thoughts and your emotions. The other one works in a different way. So I don't want to give too much now and go through all the steps and everything, but basically some of the things that I've been able to overcome are certain fears that I didn't understand why I had. Mm-hmm. Going through the processes that I went through, I learned that some of the fears that I had or some of the blocks that I was experiencing in this timeline actually originated from past incarnations or past timelines, past situations or experiences that my soul went through. And if some of that karma wasn't cleared out, we'll say, mm-hmm. then there's residual energy, residual karma. And that can create different patterns in our waking world here. Yes. So if we want to get rid of those patterns easier without having to rely on force or willpower or just faith alone that things will get better. We actually have to take ownership because we are the master and creator of our experience. So to live at a more mastery level for me as an individual, that's what I do.
That's awesome. And ownership is the key to forward progress. Wishing it away doesn't work.
Right. It's kind of like praying to Jesus to take away your sins.
Right.
But what is a sin? A sin is a mistake.
Right.
So I am, course correcting my soul by the processes. That's the how.
Yes. So that is amazing. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to require or want or seek out that information so they can reprogram the old patterns and create new patterns for themselves that are more viable for them.
And it's not just myself and the creator of these processes. There are thousands and thousands of students and practitioners all over the world. And in 2018, I became certified in not only those two processes, but a few others. And that is what I practice in my own, individual sessions. But I also have practiced over the years with many different clients, family, and friends as a metaphysical practitioner. Those are some of the things that I include in my sessions when I'm helping people, when I'm, going through the processes with them.
Awesome.
To transform their soul.
Very cool. So you'll be offering this as a class people can actually go to, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome.
I think of it more of like a workshop.
A workshop.
I don't really think of myself as teaching a class. I feel like it's a workshop because we're all doing it together and we're working on ourselves. If I was just teaching information, then that would be a class. But my sessions and my workshops are more experiential sessions.
Awesome.
So it's for the participants to learn, yes. But as I say, when one teaches to learn, so we actually get to do it together and we're going through the processes together.
Awesome. Very cool. So I will be also offering, but mine's more of a one-on-one class because it's very specific to the human being in which I'm working with. So on this show, we talk about the past life review, which every soul goes through. Every time a soul comes to this 3D reality, when it returns back to the other side of the veil, it has to go through the past life review. And your past life review is very in-depth. You feel a lot because every human being is an experiencer for God. So you get to feel how you interacted with the world. If you were kind, you get to feel that kindness and that higher vibration rise within the people you're interacting with. If you're hateful or mean or inconsiderate, you're going to feel what that felt like for that human being or that group of human beings because God experiences through all of us. So my class is going to be one-on-one, or I can help people correct the movie that's being played for them when they return back home. Because even though you have parts that are bad, sometimes the first act isn't great of the movie. The second act can be very painful too, but if you can fix it by the third act, then that's a life that you feel proud of, a life that was well spent here. And my job is to help people try to fix what they can of all the mistakes they made in the past. Because with knowledge comes more understanding, and more understanding means more wanting to correct, so they can be on the right side of God, right side of vibration, right side of love itself. Help people correct the mistakes that have been made, if it's possible, and then help course correct the trajectory of their lives so that they can have a great second or third act of their life.
Right.
Because that's what it boils down to. It's not where you start, it's where you end up that counts. God knows you're going to make mistakes, but if you course correct now, you can accomplish in one lifetime what would have taken 2, 3, or 4 lifetimes. Then I want to help people correct karmic debts. So as we traject ourselves in a positive way in the future, we want to course correct the things we did to others, but course correct that karmic debt.
Right.
And sometimes it can be done directly. Sometimes it has to be done indirectly. But the end result is when you return back home, you're much more successful in your soul's journey in this incarnation than it would have been if you had not taken the class. because I teach people how to change the trajectory, how to counter karmic debts, and turn into maybe even karmic surpluses if you do a good job. And that's the whole point. There is a possibility to have a karmic surplus to where you do so much good for others that things start to change for yourself directly and future incarnations.
Absolutely. And I love that, because that is why I do the 7 steps and the 5 steps and
Yes.
the many other different processes
Yes.
that, that I practice, because it is helping me to live better now, but also create more meaningful experiences for myself and those around me, because now I'm living as a more clear channel for the divine to express through,
Yes.
right? So not only, like I said, am I creating a better experience for myself and all those involved, but I'm creating a better experience for me on the other side of the veil,
Yes.
because I've cleared up some of the karma. Like I said, I've rewired and restructured this that makes up me here, you know, and I talk about the tapestry of my soul.
Right.
That's what we're doing here.
Right. And realistically, I try to help people on the specifics of their journey. So exactly what you did to this person, how can we correct this? What you did to that person, when that person did that thing to you, how can we correct this and change things? So it's very hands-on from all the major points in your life, and creating a positive spin on those events, to where you can course correct and feel better about yourself when you're going to be going back home. You can feel better about the results that you're trying to create. And God gives you bonus points for effort. So when you try to do the right thing, it does help. And with my program, I'll be helping people use specifics within their lives to project a better future version of themselves.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for doing that. And it just reminds me, to start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. And I really do my best to live by that.
Yes.
If I get triggered, I stop right where I am. I use whatever tool I can, even if it's just take another breath or
Right.
walk away.
Right.
Or close my eyes or think a new thought, whatever that is, and to do whatever I can. Because
Yes.
I know that from that moment, my actions, my habits, my choices, my emotions, everything that I am emitting, whatever frequency I'm in, is going to create the next part of my chapter. And it's going to have that ripple effect throughout the rest of my karmic cycle. So starting right where you are. But sometimes it's hard to know what to do. Sometimes it's hard to even start.
Right. And that's really my class is about the why we need to change this, why this should be changed or could be changed. And then you have the how.
And for me, that why that you provide opens the door so that people want to actually walk through.
Yes.
Because people will, they tell me, well, I don't even understand what you're even talking about. But if you understood why, then it would help you to understand why you want to walk through that door of your mind, of your consciousness, of your soul.
Right.
And to make those changes. Spend some time in that room, and see what happens.
Right. A lot of people think that if they go to church, they say a special prayer to Jesus and everything's forgiven. And it's like, there is no back door called Jesus. No, there is no get out of jail free card called Jesus. Jesus is a teacher of love, not a vehicle for avoidance.
Jesus is the way shower.
Right, the way shower.
Yeah.
And if you follow his teachings, man, you're going to do great.
Right.
But it's hard to do. It's easy to read them, but it's hard to master them. We give you the reason why you should. That's me. And explaining how things break down on this side of the veil. And you help with people with the tools to carry that momentum forward. And to break the patterns.
Because we have to take ownership, like we were talking about. You can't sit in a corner and pray, please, God of my understanding, make this thing go away.
Right.
No answer to that prayer is going to come. It's going to generate from within. You have to get up and walk across the room and open the door.
Right. They source or God may give you that avenue,
Correct.
but you still have to do the walking.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And this is what this is. This is the avenue.
And we are walking it together.
Right.
It is a journey. And this particular avenue that we are on right now as a collective humanity.
Right.
Right.
Right. And I've heard it all. So people are like, oh, they don't want to hear about my story. I'm like, yeah, I do want to hear about your story. I've heard it all. And nothing's going to shake me.
No, and you don't sit in judgment because
Nope.
you see that any of those actions that could be labeled as bad or incorrect or wrong, there is none. There's just
none.
you just missed that mark.
Right.
Oh, the mark is unconditional love, compassion, unity, oneness. Oh, you missed that? Okay, well, here, let's just get your trajectory back on track.
Right. When you look at the human journey, you can look at it and judge it.
Yeah.
When you look at the soul's journey, you realize all these things had to happen in order to create a soul that learned unconditional love. That's the whole point. So there is no really, when you look at the soul's journey, there is no judgment. It's necessary evils that have to be done in order for an outcome that is sufficient for source, sufficient for God, because we want the best for source and God at all times.
Absolutely. And it's all about that process, just like cooking. You know, you may start out with all your ingredients and it may get messy throughout the process and you may not have any idea what that product is going to be at the end.
Yes, exactly.
And God doesn't care what that final meal is going to look like. God does not care because God is going to experience through you, as you, for you, by you, enjoying that meal.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
And that meal is our life. But if I want to provide the best meal possible for myself, for God experiencing as me, I'm going to be mindful with how I interact with those ingredients, number one, and how I put those ingredients together.
Yes.
So the 7 steps, the 5 steps, the whys, the hows, the breath work, all of those things are the ingredients for our life. What are we creating?
Right.
Our past life review will tell us what type of meal we have created for our life.
Yes.
What are we going to be eating in heaven on the other side of the veil? That's what we're talking about here.
Exactly. Are we going to feast or are we going to be eating grog?
What kind of food are you eating in heaven? Because you're creating your vibration.
Right.
That's food for thought.
Exactly. So we do have classes available. They'll be linked below. I think we're using Calendly or something like that. But
that's to book. Yeah.
That's to book.
We also are on Skool. We also have our YouTube platforms, our social medias.
Yes.
But really one of the best ways to get a hold of either one of us is through our email. And that is at augmentedteachings@gmail.com. You can ask any questions. You can get a hold of us and see if you have anything.
Right. If you want to take one of our classes, one of our courses, or just reach out to us.
Yeah.
And we're making ourselves available now. We've been talking and we never made ourselves available.
Not in this capacity.
No.
I will say that I have been doing this,
yes,
like I said, since 2018.
Yes.
You have been doing this
since 2013.
You counsel people all day long.
All day long. Yes.
You know, you do one-on-ones, you do group sessions. It's just this is a new emergence of this next chapter that we are offering on a more grandiose scale.
Right.
You know, we've been more in our little pond here, and now we're stretching out to reach
to help more people.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Because we know that as we work with ourselves and each other, it helps to strengthen us, and so we are able to hold more capacity. For humanity. Yes. Because we're all in this together.
And that's what we're here for. That is our purpose.
Yeah. And I'm glad we get to do this together. Thank you.
Me too. Thank you. All right. Thank you for everybody for watching. Always have love and laughter in your heart and keep moving forward. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.